Hi, this is Tina from Inner Delight, and welcome to another We Uplift TV moment. I am so delighted to be here today with Ros Clarkson from Finding Your Wings for many reasons. First of all, because Ros is just such a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I have read her posts on Facebook, and you're going to be getting to know her as we talk here, but also because she lives in Sydney, and that's my home away from home, and I'm on the other side of the world right now, and yet here we are connecting. I love it. Welcome, Ros.
Hello, Tina. It's lovely to be here. Warm welcomes from Sydney.
Yeah, oh, and many times I think I wish I could beam myself up, that's got to be the next step in this technology thing. Fly through
Absolutely.
Skype.
That's it.
Oh, well, in these We Uplift moments, we've had the opportunity to connect with people from all over the world who everyone has their own amazing story that offers such upliftment and inspiration to others. And I would love for you to share a bit about your story because, well, it really moves me. It's giving me goosebumps now as I'm connecting here with you. So would you like to share a little bit about where you've been and what's brought you here?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Well, my story really took jettison about in 2006. I've been very interested in the metaphysics, and John Edwards, just around my 40th birthday, was it came on. I was needed a little bit of a break from gardening was the start, and he opened up a world of mediumship. I sort of put that in the back burner, and it sort of just opened up a little inquisitiveness of me. But then in 2006, as I said, that really opened up my whole world. I've been going through many different things throughout my life. I've gone and just leave that for the moment, but I was brought up to a point where I needed a change, and I got this shove in the back, and I thought, okay, normally wouldn't spend a lot of money, but this workshop had been told to me by a friend and thought it'd be great to do, and I said, no, I can't spend that amount of money on myself, I can't do that. I'm not sort of worthy enough, because that's been a theme that's travelled through my life. And I just felt this big push and sort of like, no, you need to do this. So I said to my husband, I think I do need to do it. It was life-changing. That weekend, it was a 2-day weekend with a group of lovely ladies. And we did what was called NSR, which was a neuro stress release, which is a bit of like kinesiology. And so what I found was that all the thoughts that we have in our head, the same things don't happen, kept in our body. So through muscle testing, we got to the age of 18 where a big trigger of my life came. And so the story were unravelled, and it was like the opening of the peeled onion, it just started to change. And the tears flowed in the experience, and it was like a huge release. It was amazing. I went back the next day, and I always remember a friend who was there on the day said, like, the transformation was like 24 hours later, I wasn't the same person. I came as like, she said, I wore a dress, I looked a goddess. It was just huge, and it truly was the start of where my journey to healing and where it was evolving to. So then that weekend, it was my 44th birthday on the Monday, so I really did feel like I had a huge transformation. And then I got the most amazing gifts. I went to work. My husband had flowers sent to my work. People sang me happy birthday. I got bottles of champagne. I was flowers to greet me. It was just like, all the birthdays in the world. It was just amazing. And then 2 days later, our world truly turned on its head. My husband was made redundant. We lived on the race course here in Sydney, and had worked there for nearly 20 years. And we lived on the property for 10 of those. So our girls grew up on a very country in the middle of a huge city, well, big city. And it was a wonderful life. But so we had to find a new home, and we had 5 months to do it. My daughter was in the midst of she was doing a HSC, a big high school certificate sort of thing. So they didn't want to interrupt that, which was very kind of them. And then, so we took our time, and the law of attraction on that particular weekend that I'd done the NSR as well came to me, and I thought, what's the secret? What's this all about? So I watched it, and it was like, oh my goodness, I get this. It was like lightning, you know, the aha moment. So I started to put the law of attraction into operation from what I'd learned. So we needed a new home, we needed a new life, we needed a new job for my husband. Everything had changed. So I took the steps, and I did the law of attraction, and I just had this feeling inside, everything's going to be just fine. It's just going to be okay. And I just trusted, and I just kept putting out there, and things would come and go. And then we drove into this house when we were nearly time to move. It's actually across the road into this wonderful estate not far from where we lived. And it was like we drove, oh, wow, this is so cool. And the whole family said, oh, we love this. I can so see us living here. So we put the steps together. And we're only going to rent for a year, but we put the steps together, and I visualised everything. I had the furniture going in there, and we'd learnt lessons from a previous place. So, okay, what have we learnt? We can do this better. And I worked on it like 24/7 for 3 days straight. And we got the phone call to say we got it at work. And I remember the phone call, and it's like almost instinct, knew. This was my husband, and this was yes, without even doing it. So I'm losing my headphones there. So it was just like when I did that, and I just went, oh my, if I can do this, anybody can do this. This is just, it is a law. It happens, and I know, and I truly believe in it. And they continue to develop through the law of attraction. I've done a workshop, and that was great. So then modalities started coming to me, my intuition, I would listen to it a bit more. Angels were starting to bring themselves known, going into mediumship workshops, meeting a spirit guide called White Wolf, who's actually behind me. I have a portrait of my beautiful White Wolf. He started the journey for Reiki, which was in 2008. As I say, we started a year. I know I'm digressing all over the place, I'm sorry. But after we got that house we rented for the year, we just found we loved the place so much. I thought, okay, I really want a home here of my own, because I want to create and manifest and do beautiful things here where I am. So we put the steps, we started doing all the bits and pieces. I wrote out what I wanted, did workshops, reinforced it even more, visualized, and when it came to it, I wrote on another workshop I did a date. They said, put 3 months from now what you want to have. So I wrote out exactly what I wanted. I put a date to it, and I used to go up on the top of the hill here, and I would overlook this particular house. And I would visualize everything. I had people having barbecues. I had us moving the furniture. I knew where people were sleeping. I had the whole thing going for about 3 or 4 months. And actually we'd taken a picture on Mother's Day and put it on a vision board. And so that was the center of my vision board. So this was a real practice. And then on that particular date that I had done on that workshop, which was the 1st of December, 2007, sorry, 1st December 2007, we actually agreed in this lounge room from the people to buy it on that day. And that just blew me away. It was like, it was like a tremendous aha moment. So I then sent you a copy of that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and that was sitting in this house, the one that I'd been thinking. And so I did know the law of attraction totally works, and I've applied that. As I say, I've done then different mediumships. Then the Reiki was something that came to me after I met White Wolf, my spirit guide. and did 1 and 2 not long shortly after each other. I continue to grow in who I am and my thoughts. And thoughts are important because thoughts are things. They send out the vibration because we are energy here. That we are sending out that vibration even when you don't think it. You're sending that vibration out. So you really do have to be a little bit conscious of what you're doing. And I've stopped doing, you try and be careful of our words. We still all use them.
Well, but one thing that I think is really interesting, that as you're talking about all of this, you bring up something that I think is very, very, very important, that a lot of people have overlooked when when The Secret came out. I thought it's great because it brought awareness to a lot of people of the power of our thoughts and what we put our attention on. However, you were mentioning you're working with the energy modalities to really clear up the underlying energy disturbances, because I think many people fall into the hole of manifesting or affirming something, putting something on vision board, but if there are beliefs underneath there that are not supporting that, as you said, maybe not feeling worthy or whatever, and then you can visualize until you're blue in the face, but you keep sabotaging yourself. So
you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's such a. I love The Secret, and I think it was wonderful, and it gave you some steps. The one thing that I didn't think that they put enough emphasis, or they didn't, was action. If you get that intuitive push to do something, and I listened to that as well. Somebody wasn't living in this home and they might have given up, but we put in a couple of letters drops and it didn't happen there. And okay, it won't be dispelled from there. I'll keep on going, and that's fine. I totally believe in this is going to work, but the action was really important. To put those steps together too. But as you say, it is the intent of what you can do lots of things. You can sabotage yourself, and if you don't believe it's going to happen, it's like that little seed gets to the top and says, okay, you don't believe, that's fine, well, it'll just go away. You've got to put in trust and faith and believe it with whole of your heart, and you can change your thoughts. If it wasn't perfect, you can just say, okay, well, that isn't exactly what I wanted, or I'll just chop that, I'll change that. You can change that thought too.
Love that. But so then the thing is that, well, there's more to the story, because
oh yeah, well, yeah, we have lots of. It's interesting to me. It's because it's my life.
I'd love for you to share a little bit about your health experience.
Okay.
That's from where you are now and to where you've been, that's just amazing.
Yes, it was, and all the steps. It did bring me to this place, and I did do the Reiki. I've gone and done the clairvoyant healings. I love crystals. I've done so much work because I believe a good healer is somebody that can assist you in your transitions. It's not about giving you something. It's about you looking within inside yourself and saying, hey, what can I do for this world on love or what have you. But the biggest challenge, as say, was in 2010. It was May the 10th when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in my left breast. And that again was a push that I had to go. I didn't feel any lump or anything like that. I'd never had a mammogram because I was only 47. So they usually sort of aim it to the 50 to go and have your mammograms. There was no history of breast cancer within my family. On the direct line, a great aunt, had a mastectomy a very long time, but nothing on my line directly. So there was never a thought in my mind that this was a possibility. So I went to a funeral. I was just getting pain actually in the right top of my breast, and I'd been doing a lot of clearing work. Through that month or two beforehand, I had been doing what was called bars access, and that was another healing modality. And we'd got really very deep into things that I thought I'd cleared with childbirth. and I didn't get very supported when I had my children, and I went through postnatal depression with the second one, and so I've had a lot of depression times throughout my adulthood. So I thought, oh, okay, I'm just releasing some of this, nurturing stuff. It's just coming back up to get me again and make sure we cleared this lot. But something sort of also said, oh, well, I think you should do the practical side and go to the GP and just eliminate any possibility that there's something physical there as well. So I did that, and he says, oh, I understand what you're saying, and he's a bit more, he's not so medically just tunnel vision. I kind of like him. He's a cool dude. And he's been a wonderful support system, actually. So he's open. He says, look, I've had 5 near deaths. You go out there, you live, you enjoy. So he says, so he understands that the side of medicos, but he also grips our side. So that's kind of cool. And anyway, so I went to the breast clinic and thinking nothing is really going to happen. Anyways, get the mammogram for the very first time, and that was okay. You hear these horror stories. People just, they squish this and it's really awful and I'm not going to go and do that. And, it's like, oh, this is all right. Just, it's a bit uncomfortable, but it's not that bad. Yeah. So we did that. Next thing, the doctor sort of, we come in and she examines, he has a chat with you, and I was starting to tune in. There's a little bit of something here, but we'd like you to go and get your husband. Can you get him to come down? We'd like to do an ultrasound of your breast. Okay. So I can call my husband, yeah. And we also want to do, if that comes back, we'll do a biopsy and see where we go from there. So, okay, I'll call my husband. So I ring him, and I said to him, we're going on a journey. And so I already knew somewhere deep down on the level somewhere that we were going on a journey. I have full belief and trust, and I never felt fear of that particular outcome. I just knew I had to go through it, and with faith and belief it would be okay. So we had the test done, the biopsies done. That was horrendous. They are the most painful, sorry. And not comfortable. But anyway, we have to do what we have to do. So it was okay. And we went after that, and the doctor talked to me, and I said, okay. But we'd planned to go on a trip only 9 days after this diagnosis. And I did want to lose the trip. I wanted to go. We were going overseas for a whole month to England, south of France. We were going to Italy and Tuscany. And this was just such a wonderful thing we had ready. So the doc said there's nothing much would happen within that time frame. To go have a wonderful holiday. Her recommendation was a mastectomy. And then I thought, okay. But it also gave me an opportunity to put all my modalities to work. And I said, that's what I want to do. We put in motion and saw my surgeon just in case and put it all together, but it gave me the opportunity to actually go ahead and put everything I needed to do into place and have the most amazing holiday. That's what I decided I was doing. And we did. We had an absolute brilliant. My conscious decision was, I'm not going to worry about this. And I didn't tell very many people because I wanted the opportunity to see if it could change. And then the people I did do, because I didn't want what was called the pity party. And that's what I was most frightened. Yeah, I really didn't like the thought that that's what most people do. They look at you as soon as you say the word cancer, and they just your eyes just speak volumes. And I didn't want that because my holiday and to do what I needed to do. I'd also said in plan that I'd have another test done. They would do an ultrasound when I got back, because what if I had actually changed it? And as you know, and the doc says nothing will happen, nothing will change. I went, okay, well, that's your belief. It's not my belief, but that's okay. You're entitled to it. And they would normally, once you start the process, you're just on this roller coaster. They don't stop. They don't do it again. And I couldn't, with all conscience, say, what if it had changed and I'd had a mastectomy and not had to have gone through that? So I did everything I had to do, and I came back and we did the thing, and unfortunately, my daughter came with me. She's so she supported her mum, and we went through the thing. It hadn't changed. It actually got a little bit bigger, and the doctor got my husband down again, and we sort of sitting down there. Okay, what are the next steps? And I could see the relief on her face when I said, okay, well, we've got to go a different way. I knew that was what I had to do. I got the feeling, you've got to do this, you've tried, you've done your very best, but more is needed. And that was okay. So I was at peace. Every time I've been at peace with the decisions, I know it's the right thing. So we did that, and it was really weird what happened after that particular segment. Making that decision and going ahead with it, I was booked in for surgery the following Friday. My daughter that accompanied me, Avril, she said to me, and what changed my mind in that surgery to go ahead in that room and to have the surgery was, Mum, you need to do something because we want you here. That made me think, okay, I've got to do this. Within 72 hours, that same girl that had kept me here, she was lying on a bed in another hospital. She had been in a horrific road accident with her boyfriend on that Monday night, and she was, God love, the angels protected her that day. It wasn't her time to go either. And she went through, so she had surgery for 6 hours on the Tuesday morning, repairing a broken left leg, a broken pelvis, a ruptured bladder. And so she was in theatre while I was getting my own surgery sorted out for the following Friday. We went on a healing journey together. So the universe really crash collided our whole world into to a crossroad. And so for 3 months, so I had my surgery, and as soon as I was out of hospital, I was in for a week. She was in for a month.
Wow.
I was at her bedside and looking after her each day. Then she came home. So for 3 months, I looked after her because she was on crutches, and she went back to university, even though she was using a little cart. So every day I'd be taking her medical things. She had a frame put on her pelvis as well because it was broken in 5 places. So she was pretty beaten up. She was in a worse way than me. And so I had chemotherapy and get through that and looked after her, and she's come out good. And it took a year for me to get through my healing journey as well with the cancer. I had to go through the chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and I also did what was called Herceptin. And that finished in August, the Herceptin. So what I did was celebrate each time. I was very fortunate. Chemotherapy really didn't stop my life. None of the treatments, I don't know, I believe I was blessed. I was looked after. I know Mother Mary walked with me. I would often, each time I'd have to go up to the hospital there, I pass a church to go to chemotherapy, and there's a statue of Jesus stood there. So we would often have a chat every morning as I'd go past him with, hi, how you going? And thank you, and I'm going, and he was awesome. And Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. I just feel like I've had such an amazing team on this planet as well as higher above. So my belief and faith is extremely high. And I always celebrated. we instigated after every completion, because I believe people don't celebrate enough. They will complain, they will tell you what's going on bad in their life, but they forget to celebrate the great stuff. So each time we finished a treatment, my mum would come down, bake cupcakes, and we would take them into there for everyone to share. And I'd walk around and talk, and I used to talk to the patients and make them smile. And I even gave Reiki once to another lady who was going through, I just finished my own treatment, got the drip out, and felt guided to go over. So we gave her Reiki as well, and she loved it. She'd never had it before. It was brilliant.
Wow.
So I just share and try to bring happiness to others, because through that I've healed myself with the help of a lot of people.
So how is it now? We're 18 months down the road, almost.
Yeah. Last week I had a CT scan. Actually, today I should have been in hospital. Today I was due to actually go and have breast reconstruction. But the universe decided something different. And also it's saving me a bit of money, because it was going to be a really expensive price. So there you go. So we're waiting for something even better to come along. But the CT scan last week was all good. It was great. Yeah, real well.
And you know, Ros, I just love that you're sharing this journey, because how many people, as you say, they hear they're diagnosed with whatever it is, but especially cancer, it's like getting a death sentence for a lot of people, huh?
It is, and that's been something I've really, conscious of. It's not a death sentence to me. Cancer is a word; it's not a sentence. It's only how you view it to be. And I know I might be just a little bit off the wall or a little bit different. I don't know, but I've learned two things through this. Was love of self. That is my biggest message, is to love yourself, because I didn't have that as a child. I didn't know any different, and I didn't have the self-worth, and I believe I attracted those events to myself, because we validate exactly what we believe. So now I believe in self-love, nurturing and giving to us, because I think the goddess within us, and this was resonated to me on the trip when I was first diagnosed, had the diagnosis, is about bringing the goddess within. And there's the patriarchic side. I think we need balance, and we sort of forget. And forgiveness. So love and forgiveness were my two biggest lessons through this. To forgive yourself and to forgive others. Don't walk around with it. I'm still letting go of some things. Even yesterday, I still, we're human, but I'm always willing to look within inside me and say, hey, what can I do? How can I do this better? Can I let it go? Is it serving my highest good? And I think everything gets done divine and divine timing. So, yeah, no, don't beat yourself up that we're human. We have an ego, and an ego is not a bad thing to have. Keeps us on those survival level. We just need to know when we're to be a little bit over energy in the ego, and to be loving and giving, but nurture yourself. And I think women have forgotten to do that, especially. We've been told to give. And I believe we need to fill our own cup up, and we need to find and give to ourselves first, because the best analogy would be is that one of the aircraft, if you're a host here there on stage, is if you're driving, that's it, you do the oxygen mask. Who do you put on first? You don't put on the kids, you put on your own. So you fill yourself up, because if you fill yourself up and you've overflowed and you feel good and amazing, and then you can give to others. But if you just try to give out all the time, you deplete and drain your energy, and you end up a basket case because you don't like it. And I truly believe it's about nurturing, is all about the breasts. And we've forgotten to give self-love and to nurture ourselves. And I just find, to me, that has to be something in there, is why more and more women, I was reading in the paper only this weekend, because breast care awareness and research is big for October, being pink. is that we got to give to ourselves, and it used to be like 1 in 15. It's now 1 in 9, and it's going to
Wow.
get further down. So, you know, if I can turn around and say, hey, love yourself, enjoy yourself, give those. I've lived Reiki through this journey, acupuncture, absolute godsend. I have been doing that virtually twice weekly when I first got surgery, and then I've gone to weekly. I've only just started going to monthly now, but acupuncture was huge. Do whatever you need to do to nurture yourself, walks in the park, sit in quietness, you know, dance in the kitchen. I've done that. You put the music on, Michael Jackson, hit the songs, do the moon dance, you know. It's a great way of raising that vibration, and that's what I think people need. That would be my message, to
I love
nurture
that.
yourself.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I work with the colors a lot, and pink, I always say when we say think pink, it's very
Yeah.
interesting that they chose that saying because pink is the color of gentleness, of nurturing, and of compassion. And I think
Hmm.
throughout that journey, what you're describing there is you really developed deep compassion for yourself and
Hmm.
for everyone that's been in your life and that you've encountered on this journey. And by that compassion for yourself, you don't beat yourself up. That's not very loving. So to embrace that, forgive, and it's brought you and your whole family together in a much deeper way. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has. Yeah,
Oh,
pink is very important. And, you know, people do come into your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime. And you know, you can let things go. And even people, they have, you know, they will serve their purpose. You know, sometimes then they're not meant to hold them on. Years don't make a great relationship. You know, it's what you put into there at the time, and sometimes they're just meant to complete or bring awareness to it. As I say, the forgiveness was the biggest part. One of the biggest lessons I learned through this, and I had a lady who taught me the Reiki, and I had to learn forgiveness for her because she, to me, abandoned me at the biggest time that I needed someone, and she said to me, "What do you love about creating cancer?" And I'm just going my way to see my daughter in hospital after the car accident, and it's like, what does that mean, and how do I take that, and really did I need that at this particular juncture? It took me 10 months to work through that particular thing,
mm,
and to say, I understand you actually were doing me a favor. You taught me forgiveness because I text messaged her. Eventually I saw a Carolyn Mace being about the anatomy and the
mm-hmm.
different chakras, and it was an awakening because I was ready for it. I didn't particularly like Carolyn Mace for many years. I found her, I was like, oh, too in your face. And then I saw her in Darling Harbour 2 days after my first chemotherapy. They did You Can Do It
Mm.
with Wayne Dwyer and Carolyn Mace. Well, Carolyn got up and I thought, oh, this is interesting. And I was mesmerised by this lady. I was floored. And when I went through the chakras, I could totally understand. Forgiveness, she said, when you get to the heart chakra and you do forgiveness from there, is a whole different place than giving forgiveness from the second chakra, being the sacral, because you're actually coming from heart. And that was, it was real. I really understood the difference in forgiveness. And so we still learn those journeys. But, you know, Carolyn was amazing and I've enjoyed her work ever since. So, yeah, we do change, we do grow, and we can attract to different things. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of this journey, you know.
Well, and the beauty is that you know through all of this, I mean, you have a beautiful website, Finding Your Wings. It's actually I'll post it on the video so people can actually see it because it's finding and then yourwings.yolasite.com, and you have a beautiful page on Facebook, Finding Your Wings, Finding Your Wings. No, that's it. Finding Your Wings, and having found your wings and sharing, you have many different and modalities and offerings that you share with people on their journey. So I invite people to go and take a look there. browse around the site. It's beautiful, very you. And I think it's an invitation for people to really embrace those qualities that you're sharing to bring joy and love and compassion and tenderness in their lives. So I want to thank you for taking the time to be here and to share yourself so authentically, letting us see that beautiful light that you are. And I look forward to hearing a little bit more about the way you connect with the angels and how you support people on their journey in our next segment. So thank you, Ros, and until the next time, many joyful blessings.
Thank you, Tina. Bye.